Right, we're going to have a look at kit development menu option here. Again, it's in the product development area. This is the area where when new kits are identified as being required, whether it's a combined new last and also a new outsole, or whether it's just a new outsole or last, or any combination of those two. This is where the designers would record the requirements and track the progress of the and approvals on the new components. Standard thing when you go into the option, you get a grid showing you the a list of the historical kit development programs. Again, the default will be changed so that it only shows any outstanding developments. Just have a look at one of the records. That's the main record, so there's a little bit of detail on whether the kits are for a specific customer. Most of the kits that William Lamb put into work are customer driven, so they're usually for a specific customer. Which components are required? Do we want a last or a mould, or that both last and a mould? Who's going to pay for the development? Which the way that the costs are recovered at William Lamb, they recovered through a specific volume of pairs. Usually the factory will pay for the lasts, but we have to guarantee purchase orders of something like 35,000 pairs. So obviously we need to monitor that through the system. So we can record the actual who's paying for it. Obviously, for William Lamb pay, we don't have to worry about amortization, etc. Which product group it is it a boot, a shoe, trainer, slipper, whatever. And then there's just some fairly top level information on the last, a reference, who the target supplier will be, the country, the fits, the size, system, UK, Euro, USA, what the sample size is, and what the sample size, last length and joint girth measurements are, and whether or not that last wood needs to be flagged as exclusive for the customer, and there is a date range. Sometimes customers will ask for exclusivity over a certain number of seasons or a certain number of years or whatever. And similarly on the sample mould, who the supplier will be, what the construction type is, the outsole compound, supplier country, who the outsole designer is. Usually within William Lamb, one of the designers will do that. Sample mould cost, whether the design is originated by the factory or William Lamb, and again whether or not it's exclusive for the customer. So just some basic information within there. We then have the ability to put the images in. Obviously these are not of the same kits and components, but normally there would be a separate pack with all the sort of technical specification drawings and everything else, but there's just a facility on here to show 5 of the key images of what they need to look like. Critical path is a pretty simple critical path here that just tracks through the sort of key areas that William Lamb have decided they want to track. What date was the last requested, when was the outsole mould, who was designated by, who approved it, when the blueprint was approved, the wooden model, sample mould, sample fitting, etc. And the dates are maintained by the designer who's responsible for that new kit. Notes, there's a notes facility here So there's actually nothing in there, but that's where you can record specific notes. Again, the notes can be sent via email, and they also go into the internal message system that's being built into the new software on there. So and once completed, the system will then, the user can then print out if you like a kit order sheet or control sheet that just follows a fairly simple design that they were using at William Lamb. So it just gives you the basic numbers at the top, and the sort of information relating to that, and monitors, tracks the critical path, any notes, and then eventually there would be some images of the final sample, and there's then an approval process that is still to be written, that's in development. And the kit development will, the part of the approval process that's going to be written will obviously, once it's approved, it will generate the relevant records through into the product library, last and outsole mold catalogues, so the user doesn't have to re-enter all the information. As a facility here, sometimes the project names and descriptions are quite big, so there's you can actually drag that out to be a slightly bigger, so you can read all the text in there a little bit easy. It's not too easy to read it in there. So that's the kit development. It's in development itself, and but that gives you an idea of what that part of the system's going to do or does. Okay, thank you.